So it's winter, January the 21st, deep winter. The streets are empty, people are staying indoors, it's dark by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's not much life going on outside. We're told that this is the time of year to rest, to recuperate, to conserve our strength and our energies, to lie low and do very, very little. And for me that's always been a bit of a challenge. For many others I know, it comes with relative ease. Some people enjoy spending long winter days under the sheets, on Netflix, whittling away the hours, reading by the fire. For the rest of us, it can be a little bit of an overwhelming situation. This pent-up energy, dynamism that we have inside us that begs out to do something with it. And yet we're told that we shouldn't be doing that it's unhealthy, and it's not a natural expression given the time of year. I started to look at the world differently about 2 years ago. Through the lens of Daoism, I started to see that the seasons aren't as prescriptive as we've been led to believe. In Daoism, the ancient Chinese philosophy that dates back over 2,000 years, the 5 elements govern all existence, and the 5 elements represent each of the 5 seasons. Now to us in the West, we might turn a funny look at this 5-season concept. There are 4 seasons, surely. Autumn, winter, spring and summer. In Chinese 5 elements theory, each of the 5 elements represents one of the 5 seasons. You have water representing winter, you have wood representing spring, you have the fire representing the summer, earth representing late summer, and you have the metal representing the autumn. When we understand that life is really just a continuum, the seasons flow effortlessly one to the next, not cut off in quarterly prescriptive blocks in the way that the Western world has programmed us to believe, but actually as part of the same entity. A natural flow, a cycle that continues, has no beginning, has no end. The 5 seasons operate on this fulcrum. They also operate with their own flow, their own natural rhythm, that of yin and yang. Yin, the expression of restraint, contraction, dark, quiet, solitude. Yang being more expressive, dynamic, burning brightly with colour and sound. Each season contains within it its own expressions of yin and yang, and this is where we get a different understanding for concepts like summer solstice and winter solstice. In the winter, December 21st marks the shortest day of the year. We have Christmas as a nice little reprieve to get through it, but once we get through to January, we know that we're in deep dark winter. We've gone past the winter solstice, and it's going to be a good long 2 months before we start to see the light again. That's what we've been programmed to believe. But in Chinese theory, after the winter solstice, you actually have the beginnings of yang. Yin has reached its utmost expression, it's peaked. Yang begins to return, and with that comes a new free-flowing energy, a new dynamism, an energy that propels us forward into the wood season, the spring season, in which flowers start to blossom, branches bud, and life begins anew. But it can only happen because of the second half of the winter, that period in which inactivity is masking something much deeper happening on a more cellular level underneath. That period from December 21st to March is not actually a time of quietness and stillness. It's a time of the core foundations starting to shift, rustle, reshape themselves, ready for that spring burst and explosion back into life again. And what this teaches us is that this period, in the early part of the new year, when people are staying inside, lying low, doing very little with their time, it's not actually the right way to approach it. When we understand the world through a 5 elements philosophy, we realize that we are now entering the rebirth of yang. And what that means is that we have to start our activities afresh, but with contained activation. We have to have warmth without overheating. We have to have direction without overreach. We have to have purpose without desire, because this is the time that we can start to put in place the habits, behaviours, beliefs that we want to cultivate for the year ahead. We're not expected to do so with aplomb, with too much energy. we're expected to do so in a way that shows us where we're going. And what that means is that movement should be encouraged. Planning should absolutely be bolstered and supported. It's a time to start doing things intentionally, but to take into account the fact that we cannot make these plans come to fruition just yet. That means that we should be cautious of our internal state. We should be resting, we should be recouping, we should be conserving, but we should be doing so in a creative, expressive way that plans for the future ahead, not in a passive way that allows useless social media to wash over us, that allows pointless content to be blasted through us as we become the passive spectators to see the winter out, but instead in a way that we can start to move forwardly, consciously, intentionally, and with one eye on the future, knowing that we're just about to emerge into the spring season.